Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 4. Nemishe Nimisha Kshetre,
Nemishe Nemishe Kshetre
Rishaya Shonakadaya,
Rishya Shaunakadaya
Satram Swargaya Lokaya,
Shatram Swargaya Lokaya
Sahasra Samam Asata.
Sahasra Shamam Ashita. So I start from translation.
Yes, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Once in a holy place in the forest of Nemisharanya, great sages headed by the sage Shonkha assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. Purport. The prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 slokas. Now the main topics of this great literature is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Shukdev Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Nemishranya. In the Vyaya Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Nemisranya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Nemisranya in the Vraha Puran, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demonic people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Nemishanya for such sacrificial performances.
So Bhagavatam is beginning like this, that the sages, there are these great sages who have now, uh, they are going to perform a sacrifice in Naimisharanya. They are going to perform sacrifice for 1,000 years to satisfy the Lord because they know Kali Yuga is coming. So they want to perform this, you know. And their leader is Shaunak Rishi. So the first time, now, so the Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. And Suta Goswami was listening to Bhagavatam that time from Sukadev Goswami. Now, Suta Goswami will speak Bhagavatam to Shaunak Rishi and the sages of Naimisharanya. So why this Naimisharanya is so important? Here Prabhupada is pointing out that Lord Brahma has put the hub of the wheel at Naimisharanya. So it's a very auspicious place. All the sacrifice can give great benefit over here. And the strength of the demoniac people is curtailed. That one Varaha Puran says that when somebody does sacrifice at Naimisharanya, then the demons, their power gets controlled lesser.
The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity.
So sacrifice. Sacrifice. The devotee, they are doing all kinds of sacrifice. Sacrifice means doing activity to please Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. That's what they are doing. The devotees are always, all their activity is to how can I please Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu? And that's why the activities are called sacrifice. Any sacrifice is meant for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita that do work as a sacrifice. If not, work will bind you, O Arjuna, to this material world. You know. So work binds us to the material world. But if work is done for the pleasure of Krishna, then that same work can help us liberate from this material world.
Oh, Hare Krishna. It means like when you have material desire, you will be stuck one by one, right? And when you have love with Vishnu or Krishna, then you have to think only about the Lord and everything done by God Himself for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, material desires keep us here in the material world. That's right.
Hmm.
But then we have so many material desire. What shall we do? Because here is saying do work for satisfying of Krishna.
Hmm.
So, like how a mother does everything for the child, no? She will do her housework thinking, okay, the child is sleeping, let me do quickly the housework. The child is awake, let me feed the child. So the
Hmm.
mother always thinking of the child. How can I keep the child happy? So similarly, the devotee always working like that, oh, how I can please Krishna, how I can hear, chant, worship the deity, do everything for pleasure of Krishna, do his
Hmm.
duties for pleasure of Krishna. Not that one does not do anything, one does all sorts of activities,
Hmm.
but the intention changes. We are
Yes,
doing, okay, I will be happy, but the devotee is doing, Krishna will be happy.
happy.
That's
Yes,
the
yes.
difference.
Hmm. The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such, a sages headed by Sonka and others assemble at this holy place of Naimishranya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Fourth, forceful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of Lord for the good of all people. Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, main Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, and leaves of the tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be so satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it is detached leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources.
So the sages of Naimisharanya, they are so kind and compassionate that they are doing this great sacrifice to please Lord Vishnu for our benefit. They're doing it for us. The new Kali Yuga is coming. So that's why they are doing all this. They are not concerned, oh, that they are gonna, it's so inconvenient for them. 1,000 years, they are in the forest. There are no not all those facilities that we are looking for. But they are so compassionate for others. They want to bring peace in the world. They want everyone to become God conscious. So because of that, what as Prabhupada is saying, they are sincere friend to all living entities. So Lord Vishnu, he is like the tree, the root of the tree. And all the demigods, human beings, all the personalities. Yesterday we were reading that Rishabh, they were saying better than human beings are the Gandharvas, and the Siddhas are better than the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras better than the Siddhas, then the demigods are better than that. So everyone is included in this tree. If we say the root of the tree is Lord Vishnu, and everyone is coming from Lord Vishnu, everyone is coming from Lord Krishna. And just like we pour the water on the root of the tree and the tree becomes nice and green, the branches get watered. Similarly, when one worships Lord Vishnu, everyone gets happy, peaceful. So that's the sages, what they are trying to do is to please God, make a God conscious society so that everyone can live peacefully. And here, when human society is detached from God, then the branches that are detached from the root of the tree, so even if you water the root, then the tree does not, those branches will still remain dry because they are detached from God. So it's so important to bring God into our lives, become God-centered society.
The, mo- the modern materialistic society is detached from its relation to the Supreme Lord, and all its plans, which are being made by atheistic leaders, are sure to be baffled at every step, yet they do not wake up to this.
Yeah,
In
we are
this,
seeing now with the so many wars going on currently, it's because we have moved away from God. We've forgotten our relationship with God. That's why there is so much unrest in society.
in this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is prescribed method for waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will explain more specifically later in the text.
So the we have been given the Harinam Sankirtan, Kali Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name. Lord Chaitanya, he gave us this Yuga Dharma, and Bhagavatam says that those who are intelligent will worship Krishna, who comes as Lord Chaitanya by the Sankirtan process. And that is what can actually bring about real peace and prosperity. And Prabhupada is saying Bhagavatam is also being spoken for that purpose, for our benefit. So we can become peaceful, prosperous, at the same time cultivate spiritual knowledge. So the end of life, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Reading on text 5. The Ekadatu Munaya
Ekadatu Munaya
Pratar Huta Hutagnaya
Pratar Huta Hutanganaya
Satkritam Sutam Asinam
Satkritam Sutam Asinam
Ashinam
Paprachur Idam Adara.
Paprachuridam Adarat.
Does anybody want to read? Hare Krishna. Okay, I will continue. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Shuta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. Purport. Morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. The great sages offered the speaker of Bhagavatam an elevated seat of the respect called the Vyasana, or the seat of Sri Vyasdev. Sri Vyasdev is the original spiritual presbyter for all the men. Preceptor. My tongue is also twisting. Sorry.
No,
And all
no,
other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva impersonated the message of Bhagavatam unto Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Sri Shuta Goswami heard it from him. Sri Sukadeva Goswami, all bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadeva in the chain of disciplic succession, are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all their senses and they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. The Goswamis do not deliver lectures on the Bhagavatam capriciously, rather. Rather, they execute their services most carefully, following their predecessors who delivered the spiritual message unbroken to them.
So here we are seeing that in the morning, the sages, they appointed Suta Goswami as the leader. There's so many sages, and now they are putting Suta Goswami as the leader of the assembly because they want to hear from him. Srila Vyasadev, he had spoken the Bhagavatam to Sukadev Goswami. And Sukadev Goswami spoke it to Parikshit Maharaj. That time Suta Goswami was there also. So Suta Goswami has heard Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami, who heard from Vyasadev. So this is coming in the line of disciplic succession. Coming in parampara. Prabhupada is saying all the bona fide representatives are understood to be Goswami, who are coming in the chain of Vyasadev. They're representing Srila Vyasadev. That's what it's called Vyasasan. Vyasasan, the seat of Vyasadev. Srila Vyasadev is the teacher of this Vedic message. So the spiritual masters, they are representatives of Vyasadev, the bona fide spiritual master. So they're coming in the parampara and they are delivering the message of Bhagavatam in the most, as the way they received it, without putting any misinformation or imagination in it.
Hare Krishna. Does anybody want to read?
Okay, I can read. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Sure. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning, but this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. This is also the way recommended in Bhagavad Gita. One must learn the transcendental subject by submissive oral reception from the right sources. Therefore, these sages addressed the speaker Sutta Goswami with great respect.
So Prabhupada is pointing out that question to clear the doubt, not in a challenging spirit, but with a real, genuine desire to help us understand the knowledge, not in a challenging spirit. Krishna is saying the same thing. Prabhupada is pointing out in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 34, that search out a bona fide spiritual master and then put questions to him submissively. So then, because of course we have doubts, they need to be clarified, but submissive oral reception. And this is Bhagavatam after all. It's the literary incarnation of Krishna. So the sages with great respect are approaching Sutta Goswami. Text 6. Rishaya Ucca
Rishaya Uchu
Tvaya Khalu Puranani
Tvaya Kalu Pranani
Seti Hasani Chanaga
Seti Hasani Chanaga
Akhyatani Api Adhitani
Akhyatani Api Aditani
Dharma Shastrani Yani Uta.
Dharmashastrani Yani Uta. The sages said, Respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and the histories as well, for you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. A Goswami or the bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadeva must be free from all kinds of vices. The four major vices of Kali Yuga are illicit connection with women, animal slaughter, intoxication, speculative gambling of all sorts. A Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not free from the above mentioned vices. He not only should be freed from all such vices, but must also be well versed in all revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. The Puranas are also parts of the Vedas, and histories like the Mahabharata or Ramayana are also parts of the Vedas. The Acharya or the Goswami must be well acquainted with all these literatures. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can assimilate the knowledge of the revealed scriptures only by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravan, and explaining is called Kirtana. The two processes of Shravan and Kirtana are of primary importance to progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject.
So they are saying The sages are telling Sutta Goswami that you're completely free from all vice. Means no any of the sinful activities, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no uh, animal, no meat eating. Prabhupada is pointing out that a bona fide representative of Srila Vyasadeva must be free from all these sinful activities. Yeah, because after all, he's representing Srila Vyasadeva. He's sitting on the Vyasasana. So he should be free from sins. Not only that, but he should have studied. He should have understood what is the Vedic knowledge, the knowledge of Puranas, the Vedic of, the knowledge of the Vedas. And then Prabhupada is pointing out that when we hear this knowledge, we need to give this knowledge to others. In that way, we will be able to understand it more ourselves. Reading is same as hearing. When we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books, we are hearing directly from Srila Prabhupada. So reading is same as hearing. So hearing and then chanting. We need to hear the knowledge and then we need to give out the knowledge. And then we will be able to understand the knowledge better. So Shravan and Kirtan. So we continue to hear from the right source, hear from the devotees, and give this knowledge to others. The more we give the knowledge to others, the more we get the knowledge ourselves. So text 7. Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto.
Yani Veda Vina Shreshto.
Bhagavan Badarayana.
Bhagavan Badarayana.
Anye cha Munaya Sutta.
Anye cha Munaya Sutta.
Paravara Vido Vidu.
Paravara Vido Vidu. Being the eldest learned Vedantis, O Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead, and you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation of the Brahma Sutra or the Badarayani Vedanta Sutras. It is called natural because Vyasadeva is author of both the Vedanta Sutras and Srimad Bhagavatam, or the essence of all Vedic literatures. Besides Vyasadeva, there are other sages who are the authors of 6 different philosophical systems, namely Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini, and Ashtavakra. Theism is explained completely in the Vedanta Sutra, whereas in other systems of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. One can sit on the Vyasasana only after being conversant in all systems of philosophy so that one can present fully the theistic views of the Bhagavatam in defiance of all other systems. Srila Sutta Goswami was the proper teacher, and therefore the sages of Naimisharanya elevated him to the Vyasasana. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as the personality of Godhead because he is the authorized, empowered incarnation.
So Srila Vyasadeva, he is incarnation of God. That's how he's able to compile such great literatures, the Vedic literatures for our knowledge. So the Vedas are so vast. Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Vedas. He wrote them. The Ved was one big Ved. Then he divided it into 4. Then he also wrote these Upanishads, the Puranas, which are like explanations of the Vedas. But the Vedas are so vast, so he put them in sutra form, called Vedanta Sutra. And then the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, he wrote Bhagavatam. So it's Srila Vyasadeva who's compiled the Vedas, the Vedanta Sutra, and Bhagavatam. That's why Bhagavatam is called natural commentary of the Vedanta Sutra, because it's by the same author. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, of course, that there are 6 other philosophies. And the bona fide spiritual master, he should know these 6 philosophies because they don't speak about God, the ultimate source, cause of all causes. But Bhagavatam is completely speaking about God and his glories. So Prabhupada is saying that one should be aware of those 6 philosophies so then he can, in fact, bring out the glories of Bhagavatam more, fully present Bhagavatam and its glory. So Srila Sutta Goswami is a proper teacher. He is well versed in all the knowledge. And so this is the reason Sutta Goswami is being appointed as the leader. They are accepting Sutta Goswami as their spiritual master here. They want to hear from Sutta Goswami because he's so qualified. He's understood the Vedas, he also knows the other 6 philosophies, he's above sinful activity. So he has all these good qualifications. And this highest qualification, he heard Bhagavatam directly from Sukadev Goswami. So he heard it in the disciplic succession. So going on to text 8. Vetatvam somya tat no. Vetatvam somya tat sarvam.
Vetatvam
Swamya Tat Sarvam.
Tatvatastad anugrahat.
Tatvatastad anugrahat.
Bruyusnigdasya shishyasya.
Bruyusnigdasya shishyasya.
Guravo goyam api uta.
Guravo guyam api uta. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. The secret of success in spiritual life is in satisfying the spiritual master and thereby getting his sincere blessings. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his famous 8 stanzas on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead, and when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters, such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Sutta Goswami was bona fide. Therefore, they were anxious to hear from him.
So we can see that the speaker is also bona fide and the listeners are also bona fide. The listeners, they are having the qualities, they are submissive, they are eager to hear, they are submissive, they've they understood that Srila Sutta Goswami is bona fide representative of Vyasadeva. So they are very much eager to hear from them and submissive. And they are saying that Sutta Goswami has the blessings of his spiritual master. Why? Because he's pleased their spiritual master. And that's why he has gotten their blessings. So Srila Prabhupada is quoting Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Guru Ashtaka, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado, Yasya Prasadat Nagati Kutopi. That by pleasing the spiritual master, one pleases Krishna. By displeasing the spiritual master, Krishna is displeased. So the bona fide spiritual master, we have to first understand who's the bona fide spiritual master. Then we have to please him to receive his blessings. By his blessings, one is able to please Krishna. So Sutta Goswami is one such personality. Tatra Tatranja Sayushman
Tattatatrajayashyusman
Bhavata Yad Vinishchitam
bhavata yad vinishchitam
Pumsam Ekantata Shreyas
pumsam ekantata shreyas
Tanna Shamsitum Arhasi.
tanna shamsitum arhasi. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. In Bhagavad Gita, worship of the Acharya is recommended. The Acharyas and Goswamis are always absorbed in thought of the well-being of the general public, especially their spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is automatically followed by material well-being. The Acharyas therefore give directions in spiritual well-being for people in general, foreseeing the incompetencies of the people in this age of Kali or the iron age of quarrel. The sages requested that Sutta Goswami give a summary of all revealed scriptures because the people of this age are condemned in every respect. The sages therefore inquired of the absolute good, which is the ultimate good for the people. The condemned state of affairs of the people of this age is described as follows.
So we can see that the sages are so kind and compassionate to us that they are asking Sutta Goswami that tell us in an easy way, because Veda is not very easy to understand. So now they want to know the essence of the Vedas. What is the absolute and ultimate good for everyone? We may do some good which is relative to time, place, and circumstance. But the sages are asking what is absolute good, ultimate good, and for everyone, not for particular section, not for particular community, everyone. So this is the compassion that they're asking because they know Kali Yuga is gonna come. So for our benefit, they are asking this question. Prayena Payusha Sabhya
Prayena payusha sabya
Kalav Asmin Yuge Jana
kalav asmin yuge jana
Manda Sumanda Matayo
manda sumanda matayo
Mandabhagya hi upadruta.
Mandabhagya
Mandabhagya
hi upatruta.
Vipatruta.
Anyone would like to read? Okay, so then I'll continue. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyzed the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened. The people of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self realization. The human life is especially meant for self realization. That is to say, man should come to know what he is, what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Human life is a means by which the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in material existence and by which he can return to Godhead, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers.
So here the sages of Naimisharanya are pointing out some of the qualities that we have. They could see that Kali Yuga is going to come and they know what's the quality of people in Kali Yuga. Short lives. Yeah, Prabhupada is pointing out the short lives. Our lives are greatly short, and Kali Yuga people are supposed to live for 100 years, but we see barely anyone actually lives for 100 years. Dwapar Yuga people were living for 1,000, but now it's just 100. So where is the time then to to read the entire Vedas to come to the conclusion of this human life? Prabhupada is saying life is short not because there's scarcity of food, but because there's no balance in life. Irregular habits, no balance. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, have a balance. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little, don't sleep too much, don't sleep too little. So having a balanced, simple life that can help one live longer. And then another qualification we have is that lazy. Lazy, especially in the matter of spiritual realization, self-realization, and spiritual knowledge. There's no proper education system that is teaching us spiritual knowledge. We are given material knowledge, yes, but we are not given the spiritual knowledge. And it's by spiritual knowledge, actually, that we will be able to understand the truth, the supreme truth. Why are we here in the material world? What's the purpose? Why is there such a hard struggle? How can I put an end to this, permanently end to the hard struggle? How can one go back home, back to Godhead? Our eternal home is the spiritual world. So, but there's no proper education. Prabhupada is pointing out one may have this kind of inquiry, but one's faith may be misguided. One may be given misinformation by the misguided teachers because the teachers themselves are misguided and the students also get misguided.
In this age, men are victims not only of different political creeds and parties, but also of many different types of sense gratificatory diversions, such as cinemas, sports, gambling, clubs, mundane libraries, bad associations, smoking, drinking, cheating, pilfering, bickerings, and so on. Their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements. In this age, many unscrupulous men manufacture their own religious faiths, which are not based on any revealed scriptures. And very often, people who are addicted to sense gratification are attracted by such institutions. Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried on that the people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. The student brahmachari communities are no longer being maintained, and householders do not observe the rules and regulations of the grasta ashram. Consequently, the so-called vanaprastha, prasthas, and sannyasis who come out of such grast ashramas are easily deviated from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. For the maintenance of such material civilizations, man has formed complex nations and communities, and there is a constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. It has become very difficult, therefore, to raise the spiritual standard due to the present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to disentangle all fallen souls, and here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami.
They could see that how we are, because lazy, misguided, and always disturbed, quarrelsome. Prabhupada is pointing out that just picking quarrel with one another based on uh, pseudo-religious principles. There's so much quarrels going on based on pseudo-religion. And then disturbed because there's so many different um, engagements. We have made ourselves so busy, so many distractions, cinemas, sports, gambling, all this. So the mind is always disturbed. And then we are politically, some people are taking political advantage. And so very unlucky in that. So the whole scene, and because we are our civilization is just based on sense gratification more and more. So there is no kind of peace at all, because the society has become complicated, the way to work in society has become complicated, and there's barely anyone who's following, uh, trying to understand spirituality. And even if one tries to, because the whole society is so complex, it becomes difficult. Now, this is the reason the sages are asking of Sutta Goswami, how we souls, conditioned souls of Kali Yuga, can disentangle ourselves from all this, what's happening around us, and cultivate spiritual knowledge. Can you all resonate with what they are saying? That how Kali Yuga is going to be? Can you all identify with that? Looking at the current affairs of the world. It's true,
Yeah,
no?
I think things are going to just be worse and worse, I feel.
Yeah,
It's going to get worse.
yeah. So already they could see, they're so learned that they could understand what's coming. And so for good of everyone, they're putting this question to Sutta Goswami, what to do.
And it's true, like they come up with their own faith, right? Different. So that's why you find radicals.
Yeah, yeah. Because the religion has to be based on the scriptures, the revealed scriptures. Yeah. That is true religion, and every religion teaches to love God. So, maybe, shall we stop here and then we continue tomorrow?
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. I I think I remember you saying, Shilpaji, that if you are a Christian, then just try to be a better Christian. And even Prabhupada says this, that if you are a Hindu, if you are Vaishnav, then try to be a better Vaishnav. If you're Muslim, then try to be a better Muslim. You just have to try to be better. You don't have to change your religion or do anything. You just have to be that better person. I remember you
Yeah,
always said that, right? And
Yeah. If you're
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
also
born,
says,
said that. Always he emphasized on that I'm not here asking you to change or become anything or do this. No, just be better. Like,
yes, follow the scriptures, yeah, of whatever
Yeah,
faith
but
it is. Yeah, Prabhupada always said that.
yes,
That
yeah,
whatever faith you are from, follow the scriptures of that faith. Yes,
yeah,
thank
what
you.
I know also, like, yeah, if you're born a Hindu, remain a true Hindu. Like, we follow your faith. Yeah, that if you're born a
Yeah,
Muslim, you don't need to, like convert or anything like that. Just follow that.
yeah, yeah, you
yeah,
don't need to. Yeah,
yeah.
And you shouldn't
that's right.
also, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Because
all
it was
the
meant for you
religion
to,
is
you're born in this. Yeah. So to be. So God has
Yeah.
sent you, like,
love
for
God.
this. So, yeah.
Yeah, because the idea is to love God. All religion are bringing us to that. Love God, you know. So that's all we have to do. Follow the scriptures, understand that we need and learn how to love God. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank
Thank you.
you. Srila Prabhupada
Thank
ki
you.
jai. Gaur
but
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare
but